Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today I'm at the south end of Islay, and behind me is the Lagavulin Distillery. The Lagavulin Distillery is nearly 200 years old, and today we will visit it and find out how a distillery can have such a small core range and be so successful over the long run. Behind me is the malt mill of the Lagavulin Distillery. And this is the old malt mill and it's still in use. And Lagavulin malts their malt and obviously has peated barley. And they are looking for a ppm content of exactly 38 parts per million phenol. And how they manage to do that is they buy a malt with low ppm, like 20, and one with high ppm, like 50. And then they blend them together and mix them to get exactly 38 ppm. You don't always get the same ppm from the maltings. They get their malt from Port Ellen, which is quite near here, but the ppm level can even vary on the way from the short way from Port Ellen to Lagavulin. So this is how Lagavulin manages to keep the ppm level at a constant level and ensure the quality of Lagavulin. So we're here at mashing, and behind me are the grist silos, and here the grist is stored and then mixed with water and it enters the mash tun. The mashing process at Lagavulin is a bit different. They only add water twice. In the first run they mix the water with the grist, let it stay in the mash tun, and the second one they sprinkle it on, and in every mash tun you produce some of 21,000 liters of mash that is ready to go into the wash bags for fermentation. So we're here at the room with the wash bags. Lagavulin has 10 wash bags with capacity of 21,000 liters. So one filling of the mash tun equals one filling of a wash bag. And the fermentation takes about 55 hours. And we're looking at an end product of around 9% alcohol. And when you look into one of these tanks, you see that some of them are really bubbled up, and there are turners at the top, and they put down the foam so it doesn't bubble over. So at Lagavulin we're looking at a bit of a longer fermentation to get more of a rich earthy note. So behind me are the wash stills of Lagavulin, and Lagavulin have been in revision for 3 months, and they did something new. They revised all the equipment, cleaned everything, maintained everything so they can maintain the quality. And what they did is they painted the wash still, and it's not red anymore, now it's black. It doesn't affect the taste at all. So at Lagavulin you have wash stills with a capacity of 10,500 liters. So every wash bag that is ready for distillation is split into 2, and the wash stills are filled and they distill for 6 hours, and then they go into the intermediate tank. They do this twice, and then 2 batches of wash stills are pumped into the spirit stills. The spirit stills have a capacity of 12,000 liters, and as you can see, they also painted them black. To the character of Lagavulin. Lagavulin has pretty flat stills, and they are pretty wide, so it's like a pear or an onion shape. And what is also very interesting is the line rail or the line pipe that goes down. So all the alcohol condensing in the line pipe are going into the condenser and not back into the pots like in other distilleries. So what we are looking at is low reflux and a very spicy and intense spirit. I'm standing right next to the spirit safe, and the spirit safe begins here with the wash stills. The distillate is at about 25%, and this is what you call the intermediate. In the middle are the measuring devices. When you turn these handles, then these flasks fill up, and you have the different levels of alcohol, and you can actually have to look in the table with the temperatures and the densities to measure the alcohol. And the last one is the spirit still. Here you divide between foreshots, center cuts and feints and tails. And I was actually allowed to turn the foreshots to the centerpiece. It was a bit chaotic because that has to be very quick, and you have to match the exact time so you don't get a different character. So the alcohol varies during the distillation, but it averages it out at 68% alcohol by volume. So, and that is the distillation at Lagavulin. And now is actually time to put in the middle cut. So now at the warehouses on Islay, and behind me you can see a great range of barrels, and that varies from the big butts that used to hold sherry, and you go down to the hogshead with 225 liters, or the American standard barrels with 52 gallons, that's 200 liters, and you even have some quarter casks, and they all mature the great Lagavulin spirit. At Lagavulin you have the standard one, which is a marriage between whiskey matured in bourbon casks and some sherry casks. So this is a couple of casks married together to make the great standard bottling. And then you have the Lagavulin Distillers Edition, which is a double maturation. So first you have about 15 to 16 years of maturation in bourbon casks, and after that you mature it in sherry casks to give that great fruity and sweet touch that you like from the Distillers Edition. So this is one of these big butts that used to hold sherry, and I'm gonna have a try. Lunch it. Great peaty sweetness. That is what you know from Lagavulin. So this was it with the Lagavulin Distillery, and there's a little story from where I shot the intro, and that is Naomhaig Castle, and that's the castle on Islay, and that was very interesting because this area here is very natural has very good natural defenses, and the McDonald's and the Campbells have fought for it for years, and in the end they bombed it, so there are only ruins left. And there's also a legend going on that the first distillation was here at Naomhaig Castle, which was brought in by monks, and they tried to spread the water of life to heal the Black Death and the plague. That obviously didn't work, but whiskey is great anyways. So thank you for watching, and if you'd like to know more about Lagavulin, then please visit Whisky.com and have a great day.